do think I do think something can be more iconic than Dragon Ball Z. I think the possibilities there. Yes.
Um.
See,
So
yeah. See, this is
so no.
that
So
facial
hold
Oh,
on.
expression. This is where it comes in.
I don't
so
know.
so like, are we thinking the
Hold
same
on.
thing? Because
Hold
we
on.
know who it is.
Let me say my part first. In
Okay.
essence of like longevity and like there being a massive gap between Z and Super because GT doesn't have an actual manga. The only thing that I feel like would be close would be JoJo's Bizarre Adventure
Mm.
Okay, okay.
because just because of the longevity. Yeah, there's One Piece, but One Piece started in the '90s, the late '90s, while JoJo started, I think, a year after Dragon Ball did. It was like they
Yeah,
started
in the
within like,
80s.
yeah, like they literally started like a year apart. So in like that essence, I feel like JoJo's is like the only thing, but because the every part the MC changes, there's not like a lot of hold to it because after X amount of episodes, chapters, volumes, it's a whole new gang of characters. Um, so I don't feel now I'm curious to know what you guys think could surpass Dragon Ball in this
They
icon.
just can go right. They just can go right at.
Ah, you see, I was just we in a reverse actually. We're in a reverse, and the only reason why is because it's like, all right, as soon as you hear that Gumma going, oh, everybody knows it's iconic. Whether it be the Gatling, the bazooka, the bullhorn, Red Hawk, Red Rock, you name it. Okay, we all know Luffy is going to be there. All right. Plus, at the same time, and it's no disrespect to JoJo's, being honest, but when it comes to the popularity alone, that's the only reason why One Piece will topple JoJo's when it comes to the iconic part of who's actually going to take over when Dragon Ball is done. Unless JoJo can like pull something,
JoJo's
I
is
don't know,
on
and it
part
can do it. It
nine.
can definitely do it. Don't get me wrong, it can definitely do it. I'm just waiting to see what it is because right now we still got Oda, but at the same time, we don't even know what this man doing over here. He claims he's going to end the series in the next 5 years, but then who knows? Everybody already making the joke talking about, oh yeah, Oda, you're not going to do One Piece Shippuden to us, right? Like we ain't going to go through this shit. I'm sitting here like, hey, bro, let this be one and done.
So
The
there
ship has sailed.
there are some
But JoJo's, I can see being forever, like longer than Dragon Ball.
so
It's
the thing with like One Piece um and JoJo's and Dragon Ball, which I feel like in like their own right, they're all iconic because they all have like their like stands. JoJo's has stands and poses, but it's the thing that the writers are old, like aggressively old. So to have something continue to be that generational thing, like we talked about earlier, like like people our age have seen it. People like our parents' age, or probably even our grandparents' age, and like our kids in the future, like they can still see it. But is it going to be by the same writer? Is it going to be by the same author? And that to me is a very detrimental point with something, especially like manga, because at one point, if you go too far away or you pass it off to someone else, then that's like their whole new idea. And that's something that I feel like JoJo's does right, because with each new part, it's a new cast of characters. And in the community, we're just so used to new part, new cast, new characters. And there's a thing where like each trilogy, so parts 1 through 3, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9, they all have like one overarching major theme. So that way, if you pass it off to someone else, as long as they continue that, um, like copy and paste, basically, like, all right, cool, these 3 parts are gonna have this overarching theme that fits into that, yada yada yada. I feel like it can be done right. But the thing with One Piece, it's been one guy for so long. Same thing with Hunter x Hunter. So yeah, he could pass off the writing or he could pass off the mantle to someone else, but is it still going to be the same story? Because when you look at Berserk or something like 86, or any webtoon comic where the creator dies before the product is actually finished, what happens then? Do we pass it off to one of their underlings that like worked under them, or do we just let it go?
Yeah, that's the valid point, honestly, because we've seen where that has gone multiple times, and it has not gone in the right direction.
Boruto.
Oh no, not just Boruto. Speaking of the icon itself, again, I will never stop. Every time my mom asks me why am I so adamant about paying bills, it's because I feel like I wasted $5. Foreman Mills, I bought a DVD because we just moved to this apartment complex. And we didn't have the cable set up because it was just the day up, but we had the DVD player. Foreman Mills right outside, go pick a movie. That's what she said. You know what I picked? I fucking regret that shit every day.
Hold
And
on.
she's like,
We
let it
can give
go.
you a guess to what you think it is. It's a disappointment, and it's something that should have been great, but someone used it just for a paycheck.
Uh, I'm drawing blanks. I am.
No, 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 no. Don't draw blanks. Bring it back. Bring it back. We've been talking about icons.
Uh, I guess the only thing I can know is like, since we kept talking about the same thing, maybe Naruto, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh,
No, nope, 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 nope. It's not those. It's not those.
Dragon Ball GT,
It's not
Very
GT,
close.
but you're close. It
Super,
is no, no.
Z,
Evolution.
Ever.
It's Z.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
oh yeah,
See, we had to pull it out of the
yeah.
sacred vault of things we do not discuss. I'm sorry, but like,
I'd rather take Evolution over Death Note. Live action,
Really?
live action. Because somebody's gonna comment. That's like, what you mean by that?
But like,
Well,
what do you mean by that though? Because
like if we're talking about like, I'd rather take that Evolution was more like, even though they're both bad, Evolution was a better anime movie than Death Note was an anime movie. Because
really,
they made Misa be smarter than Light and actually trick him with the Death Note. And basically, Light was like a figure puppet type character versus how Misa was. Yeah.
but
So
that's
like,
the opposite dynamic. Are you telling me Death
no.
Note's movie was that bad?
It was more than that. It was way more than that.
No, are you
way
telling
more
me
than
it was that bad that it's worse than Z Evolution?
They had Light Yakumi being like a California school, similar like how they also did Dragon Ball, but they had him being like a California school. His first name was different, I think, but Yakumi was still his last name. It was like Michael Yakumi or something like that. So they completely changed it from Light Yakumi. It was like Michael Yakumi. They tried to make it very American. They changed up a lot of stuff, and the way of how it just went just didn't make sense. And instead of him using Death Note like better people, I believe he only used it to students in high school. I believe that. It's on
What the
Netflix.
fuck?
It's on Netflix.
I'm not watching that shit regardless. I
only-
still have
Yeah.
not seen it.
The only live action I can say I actually enjoyed so far from the ones I've seen, because it's very limited, is actually the Bleach live action. They got a lot of things right, and they set up for another movie, which I actually enjoyed a lot. Which I watched it like 3 times, and I'm surprised I enjoyed it. So, first time was because I was like, okay, let me just give it a shot. Second time was I was showing somebody to watch it because they was just trying to get into Bleach. I was like, oh, okay, how do you feel about this movie? And I was like, I enjoy it. It brings up Bleach regular season 1 to 2. I was like, okay. Third time, I was just bored. I was just bored. But